This episode of Adventure Incorporated is brought to you by Adam and patrons like them. Head on over to patreon.com/adventureinc so you can be like Adam. Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to the Adventure Incorporated podcast. I am your Dungeon Master, Anthony Reed. This is episode 112 and the 8th episode of The Path of Evocation. First up, as always, please, we love hearing from you guys. We love hearing your feedback, what you think about the show, how it's going, what you think is happening, whatever. Hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, email, Discord. Our Discord channel is really fun. You can send me a message. I'll give you my address. You can send me a letter if that's what you want to do. However you want to get word to us, we want to hear from you. So just hit us up. If you're enjoying the show and you're getting value out of it and you want to give a little value back to the show, there are two great ways you can do that. The first way is through our Patreon, patreon.com/adventureinc. That's patreon.com/adventureinc. You can give us a little bit of money there each month. You'll barely miss it, and it'll help us grow the show, and along the way you'll get some really cool bonus stuff. We're releasing some things to all of our patrons, some bonus things above and beyond what we've already listed there. So it really behooves you to be a patron at whatever level you can afford, because there's some really fun stuff that comes out every month. And the other way is just to let people know. A 5-star review on iTunes goes a long way. It helps raise the show up the rankings so that people see it and maybe click on it that wouldn't have otherwise listened to it. Sharing it on social media. The algorithms that Facebook and Twitter are using nowadays are very strange. A lot of people don't see our posts, so the more that you sort of reach out to people and tell them about this thing that you think they'd probably like, the more that it helps us. So whatever you can do, just run out there and do it. I mean, other than that, it's just keep enjoying the show, keep being awesome, and you keep us coming back week in and week out. So as long as you guys are still enjoying it, that's what matters most to us. So thank you, and let's get started.
Previously on Adventure Incorporated.
They are the executors of Adventure Incorporated, Your Majesty. They stand accused of dark magics and destruction of... I'm sorry, Caliph. What was it? Caliph sort of rolls his eyes, and he says, destruction of the elements of this very fabric of reality. They are messing with the arcane on a level that they do not possibly understand. What he says is true. Then you are responsible for more than a simple murder. You are responsible for the murder of us all. You have doomed us. And if that is the case, you will taste my justice.
I would like to request a private hearing.
He turns to Caliph and sort of lets a few more moments pass and then says, Caliph! And Caliph's like, yes, Your Majesty, I drop all charges and I request that the many pennies please join me in my chamber for...
Asher says that out loud.
Nobles and farmers, knights and wenches, gather round to hear a tale of excitement and mystery. Brave adventurers facing grave dangers. Keth, the fighter monk.
Guys, there's a lot of puppy in this cloak. I needed to say it.
What?
Genevera, the sorcerer. Genevera, you're sitting there next to Clyde, who just goes, what the fuck?
I hold up my hand for a high five.
Gebetto, the rogue. As soon as they see the five of you, their expression hardens.
Well, we'll see you later. And Gebetto just turns.
Gillick, the paladin warlock.
But you're dying again, right? Like, you die, then you get a spirit.
And you're nothing.
And then
you become nothing.
And then you're nothing. That sounds like bullshit. Let's go kill the Death Lord.
And Asher, the druid barbarian. Yeah, but I'm asking specifically why Jeff is important to Asher.
It's just the first name. You know what? I don't have to justify this.
Prepare yourselves, for this is the tale of Adventure Incorporated. So you guys gather up your stuff. Do you want to do anything before you head into Kaelith's, So now I gotta know, Genevera, what was the small thing?
Hold on. Time out.
You don't have to know.
You don't know.
I do. Gebetto looks at the group and says, guys,
Yeah.
thank you for, like, we got through a thing, and, like, the only thing that happened was Gillick got, like, super hit by an axe.
Yeah, we did do well. It was
And
good
I didn't
leadership,
dislike it.
Gebetto.
That could have gone worse.
What? Wait, what? Hold on. Let's unpack that.
No, there's nothing to unpack. I was just like, oh.
Except his bowels, am I right?
Well, he was hit in the back.
Not in his back, Genevera.
I mean,
Yeah, he doesn't poop from
I
his
don't know
back.
where human bowels.
Well,
I don't
but
know where dwarf bowels live.
they're probably the same place as Dragonborn
I
bowels.
don't know
I
if
don't know
that's
where
true.
my bowels are.
Dragon bowels.
True.
Bowels.
Asher probably doesn't know.
I'm a weird race. Okay, I'm a thing.
We
Where
get
are your
it.
bowels?
You're really old.
In my butt, I assume.
This is a bizarre
I'm
conversation.
a druid, not a biologist.
Cool, but yes, I think we did really well, and good job, and
Yeah.
well done, Gebetto. That was like really strong
Yeah.
leadership.
I didn't even
Yeah, man.
fuck it up.
No.
Yeah, no,
You were so
I trusted
polite,
you.
too.
Yep.
I know. That's the one.
Did you see that guy get fucking the whole top of his head chopped off immediately
Yeah,
before? And
He was a general.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just a guy. Like, I would have been
No,
fucked.
you did really well listening and observing and acting on those. Like,
Yeah.
But we didn't take
lesson.
one vote, and I feel like my voice wasn't heard in our group.
That's not
no,
true.
that's not true.
We took one vote.
Kath.
Gebetto looked at us to see if he should tell what Gorm was, and we all nodded. Except Gillick, but majority. Sorry, Gillick.
Gillick, I'm
Yeah,
sorry that
that's
everybody else didn't want to do what you wanted to do.
That's okay. That's why we work as a group. We're not supposed to
Yeah.
agree on everything. It's
I
okay.
suppose that was
We're allowed to
Genevera
disagree.
tears up a little bit because like this is like a strong, this is like strong group work, and she's never been happier in her life.
Aw,
All right.
Heinrich's like,
we did it.
Calm down, Genevera.
are you guys ready to go?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We're
Hold
all
on,
we're
let me
like
get back
hugging.
to our
We're-
stuff.
we're-
I know Gillick has like some alcohol if you want that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I do. Here. Yeah. Yeah, here you go. Gillick pulled out his flask.
Not right now. Well, unless that flask was in your butthole, you ain't got no flask right now.
If there's one thing that
And
Gillick-
where is your butthole? We need to know. Where is your bowels? Location of bowels and also flask.
This watch.
This watch.
Okay, so he leads you all back down to sort of the chamber where you were stripped and all of your belongings were set aside.
Anthony, I have a question.
Yes.
If we're leading out of that one chamber where we had a private audience, was that the Chamber of Secrets?
No, it wasn't. It was the Chamber of Discussions. There is a different chamber.
Dumb name.
You have to find the Chamber of Secrets some other time. That was that wasn't it. Sorry.
All right, no, that's fine.
Oh, yeah. And it would have to be something associated with Salius, I feel as though. Like, the
Yeah,
Chamber of Secrets
yeah.
would be a Salius thing.
Yeah.
Gebetto, when we get a moment, would like to find a map so that he could locate the Chamber of Secrets in this castle.
Okay. We'll see what we can do. I don't think they're labeled that way.
Boy.
It's the one with all the question marks on it.
It just says like secret chamber. Like
But it's crossed
Do
off
not enter.
so that nobody
Secret
knows.
chamber.
No, I know what it is. It's the room with an S over where the door is.
Ah.
That's a D&D guidebook joke.
sure. So he leads you down to that chamber and you get all your shit back. Congratulations.
The Chamber of Secrets?
No.
Oh.
The chamber of stripping prisoners.
On the way,
It was almost exciting, and then it was not.
on the way,
It was a real roller coaster named.
my swishy out of the bag of holding, and he's gonna pull out Dune Song and hand it to Asher.
Thank you.
Like as they're walking down the hall.
Yeah, so you didn't even need, like, you took precautions and you didn't even need to pull out your backup plan.
Yeah, we didn't even need to pull on our backup plan.
We didn't really have a backup plan. We just
No,
kinda...
there were several backup
I had a
plans.
backup plan.
There were 3 backup plans in place.
Oh, you did.
It's true.
There was the secret one.
At least
there was
3.
And
I'd say,
The hammer, the
And there
bag,
was-
and
yeah,
the
a
fight.
final mystery.
the mystery, which
We'll never know now.
I'm so curious.
It's so obvious.
It's not obvious to me. I don't actually know what it is.
I don't
love
either,
that.
but I know what it is.
I don't believe you.
I
I
okay.
kind of don't believe you either.
I know what it is. I choose to know.
The more you say it, the more I believe that you know.
I do. It's the only thing you could do. You told me what you were planning on doing, but you didn't say how, and I know how.
I love this.
Asher is confident.
That I believe.
Oh God, I'm so curious. Okay, 3 guards attack you. What do you do?
What? Oh fuck!
don't-
That wouldn't be
Damn
the
it!
plan.
Damn it!
That's
not the thing.
Them.
Dude.
Okay, yeah, you guys get your stuff.
Subdued?
And Heinrich's like, do you want me to go with you to speak with Kaelith?
Yes, please.
I don't know, man.
I mean, can you handle
You've been kind of. You might need a nap. I don't know.
Yeah,
do
do you
you,
have our back
like-
or what?
Yeah, I mean, to the best of my ability. Look, I am in a difficult situation here. I don't have. I did everything for
I would like
I
you to be
could.
there.
I like how you have like 2 voices, Anthony. One for the guy that's in charge, and one for the guy that like is definitely not in charge.
And then once they
He
change,
has 3
they can
voices.
change.
He has 3
I was gonna
voices.
say it. I like that Heinrich is currently using voice number 2, and
Yep.
he is normally a voice number 1 guy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna apologize for it. You know, I'm just gonna let
No,
it.
I said I like it. I was giving you a compliment apropos
There's
of
a
nothing.
3rd voice.
So we go down
Mike,
the hallway
there's a
with our
3rd
weapons.
Yeah,
voice.
Slask.
There's
Slask
the
is the
Clyde
third
voice, the incompetent voice.
Great.
You're right. Also, Deckard Cain.
Deckard Cain. No one stays
a while
and
and
listens.
Stay a while and listen.
Listen. Nobody stays and listens.
Okay. What was your thing, Jennifer?
I said we all go down the hallway with our weapons.
You go down the hallway.
I would
just
like
trying to
Heinrich
move
to be
things
there.
forward.
Yes, please.
You succeed. You arrive.
You do move forward.
You all arrive at Kaelith's study. And when you enter, you also see the 5 members of Omen here in the chamber.
I was like, the
Is
fuck
that their name?
Owen?
Is that their team name?
Yeah, that's the team. That's
Yes.
Carter and his team.
You can learn more about them in the Patreon-only released short story
From April.
for April.
Yes.
Oh.
What's that short story called?
Omen.
Oh, man. I didn't fucking title it.
Oh, man.
Oh man.
Is that why? Is there like, oh, man. We have to come up with a name, and someone was like, oh, all right, Omen. Like, ah, shit, here we go. That's how many
I
pennies
was
came
gonna
about,
say
right?
that's what happened to us. So.
Yeah. Oh, man. Like, Omen? That's a cool name.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
Yeah,
stick
that's
with
what
it
I
totally
forever.
meant that. That's a super cool name.
Okay, so you guys arrive to Kaelith, like just poring over a bunch of books, and the Omen team sort
All
of
of my
like
soda, all
eyes
over
you
these books.
suspiciously as you enter.
Hey, guys.
Don't worry about it, guys. 18's
Hello.
here. You guys can take a break.
Hi. They just sort of like I think probably Nyx gets like mad and like starts to like like rev up a little bit, and like Carter holds her back, and they just stand to the side waiting and listening.
I look at you. I look at Geppetto, and it's like, I don't really understand the expression "I hate to say I told you so" because I really like saying it right now. I love this.
Yeah,
Kale,
dude, West Coast is going to be so pissed when they get out of here.
I know.
That was good.
So Caliph looks up and he says, yes, the many pennies, correct? You hear
Yep.
the halfling barbarian snort.
God bless you.
He says, Caliph says, please come in, have a seat. I think there is much that we have to discuss.
Asher sits.
Also sitting, Geppetto.
I assume everyone sits unless they otherwise state that they do not.
Sure.
Great.
Yeah. Sitting.
Sitting committed. Okay. He looks up and he says, first allow me to apologize. I may have been hasty from some of the things that you have said. I still don't necessarily agree with your methodology, but I believe you may have some information that I do not. It was my
a bit fucking hasty, guy.
But you also might have information we do not,
Yeah.
which is why this is
And
great.
if we could exchange that information, we'd both be smarter.
Yeah.
I am. That would be a positive outcome, in my opinion. I am. I'm willing to go that distance with you. So let me start by telling you what I know.
Okay.
Here we go.
He pulls out like a big
up.
tome, and he says, "I've been working on this for a while." And he starts to get like some excitement behind his eyes. He says, "I haven't
cute.
really decided what to call it yet. But anyway, a long time ago, there was a great war between many factions, and I haven't decided if I want to call it like the Shadow War, although I don't think that is as encompassing as I think it must be.
No, I like that. That's a cool sounding name.
It is cool, but it is unfortunately only one facet of the war. And I could call it the Planar War, but that's a
fine.
bit grandiose, and it doesn't actually incorporate
Yeah.
all of the planes per se. But
Stick with Shadow War.
sure. So the creatures of Shadow, and the creatures of the Fae, and the creatures of the Celestial Realms were in a war for New Merida against one another. Is this something you're aware of?
Yep.
That is
No,
right?
wait, so
Kind of.
what?
Yes.
Do we know the Celestials
Yeah.
were
So-
involved?
Right.
Other planar beings were in a fight for specifically our continent.
Yes, I'm not fully sure why, but I do know
Yeah, was it? Yeah, not like on Maneth in general, just
the land of New Merida.
New Merida?
Yes, there was something about this place that drew the Fae here, and then the Shadow sort of stepped in as in an attempt to corrupt. And the Celestials had their own game they were playing here, but none of it was really. All of it was at odds with one another, and so they came into conflict over our land. They
Anthony,
used us as part of it as well.
Do we, as many pennies, know this? This feels... I feel like I know this, but I don't
yeah,
know if
I
that's
know this.
a character thing.
There have been, bits and pieces of this. So what I am doing is solidifying for you
Great. Okay.
the
I didn't know
small
if-
pieces.
If we were supposed to be like, yeah, Calith, we know all of this.
I think that this
Yeah.
is probably a restating, but not in a way that is like this may be sort of like clicking some pieces together. You could have come to this conclusion, but he has also come to this conclusion,
Okay, great.
right?
Thank you. I wasn't sure when I was supposed to be like, well, so, or like,
actually,
But I will say, all
not-
of the stuff that you, Mike, have read, Geppetto would probably know,
okay,
just from the conversations that you guys have had with various angels and with Elatrix.
right, great.
Except for perhaps the stuff about the pact.
Sure.
That might be the only thing that's like a little more concrete in that short story than.
Sure, that makes sense.
But we'll get there.
Great.
He says, the Shadow and the Fae and the Celestials fought against each other for a long time. The Fae felt like they had driven the Shadow back, but the only way that they could, from what I can tell, the only way that they felt they could contain the Shadow was to lock themselves away as well. And so they left this place. And that left the Celestials alone with more or less control of New Merida. And so, this is where Gorm comes into this to some capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And so they made a pact that allowed them to rule over New Merida in their way without interfering and taking from us the cue of where they need to go, what they need to be. That pact is built to guide us, but also to guide them, and to protect us, and to protect them. It is a powerful piece of magic. And I do believe that Gorm is looking to undercut that magic, to reshape the pact into a way that he feels will be more beneficial for him.
Yeah, no, he did that in another universe.
He reshaped the pact?
No, but
He tried.
Wait.
no.
Wait.
Elatrix did. But like we know from another universe
Wait,
that it doesn't end well.
You already said that once, but that didn't click with me. You said another universe?
Oh yeah, we've met you before, but like in an alternate reality that's probably super dead now. And you told us some of this. We learned some of this
So
from like your crew.
Let's go back like half a step for this. When we went into the ley line of divination,
Asher starts to sweat.
we ended up in a different reality. Basically following, like, we went from the reality Gorm came from. We went into that reality.
So, like, Caliph
God,
is, like,
this
looking you
sucks.
in the eyes,
So-
but he is writing furiously as he looks
Sure.
you, as he stares you in the eyes.
So, like, let's pretend it's let's
the line.
pretend it's two parallel roads, right? And Gorm took a hard left. We ended up taking a hard right, kind of going into that other parallel road after he came into our road, right? And so, like, we traveled down that road for a little bit, and then kind of came back and went back into our original road.
So, okay, there are two roads. So, you traveled a road.
But not
Yes,
like a
and
they
literal
diverge.
road.
So there are no roads. It's like a metaphorical road.
Right.
Right.
So there's
but you know, like that
there
old
are
Troubadour
infinite
song,
universes, there are infinite realities.
Life is a
Could
highway.
change from like if someone has like an extra hair on their head, it could spin off a different reality, right? So there is a reality out there that Gorm was able to kill everyone and defeat everything in order to stop that. Your super crew broke got all the things of the pact and got the dragons involved, and they were intimidating Gorm, and Gorm
Yes,
knew he couldn't
yes.
defeat all
That's
the
my
dragons.
plan. That's my plan. You see,
No,
we're going to
no,
tear
no,
all the dragons in.
No.
Bad plan.
What?
The worst plan.
So let me tell you what happened next.
Okay.
So broke the pact, and the dragons came in, but then you couldn't stop. So what Gorm did was he jumped realities to ours. So that's why he's here now. But in that other reality, then the dragons came and you couldn't stop the dragons. Like once they helped defeat Gorm, they were like everything was dragon power, and they were oppressing everyone.
became
and it was just
rulers of
bad, and
everything.
You were in hiding. You were just in a very bad place.
Also, it doesn't actually stop Gorm because he'll just leave again.
Yeah, and he'll just jump
Right.
to another reality and then
Do the same thing, and eventually
Do
he'll become
not-
strong enough to come back.
we cannot stress enough to do not do what you want to do.
Well, shit.
I know.
That's how we feel.
Yeah. All the time. Every day.
100% of the
day.
time. Our
Literally,
experience
this
is
that well shit feeling. We wake up with
Is
that
our
feeling.
life.
We go to bed with
Yeah.
that feeling.
Yep.
Every
Hey, we
every
just
second.
did this
Well,
thing.
shit.
Oh, this other thing popped up. Well, shit.
Don't worry.
Well,
everything
shit.
else is broken. Well, shit.
hey, this is guy's my best friend. Well, shit. That's just a random example.
So even if we reshape the pact in a way that we can... So Elatrix reshaped the pact to allow the dragons to face Gorm. Why did he not set the pact so that it would maintain parts of it, but allow them to stop Gorm?
Well, I don't know if it's like an all or nothing deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, have you
He
met a
was dead
dragon?
in that reality, so we didn't get to talk to him.
Right.
Now
Also,
he's
like-
dead in this reality. So
Sure is.
Yep. Definitely.
Givetto points at Kath. That definitely was a little much, dude.
I'm just trying to
Carter-
help, man.
Carter says, didn't you guys say he was Fey?
Oh god, I forgot they were there.
Did we?
No,
Carter,
he
that's
said
ridiculous.
He was like,
Next, you're gonna
he
tell
was
me.
like,
Yeah,
fake.
what the hell?
Next, you're gonna
He
tell
said
me
he was
that-
fake. He's like a very fake person because he like.
Right. Next, you're
You
gonna
know,
tell
like-
us dragon breath can melt steel beams. Get real.
Ah, ba, 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 ba.
Roll deception checks.
All of
Just
us?
the three of
All
you
of us?
who just spoke. Yes.
Me? Did I also?
Asher,
Oh
Okay.
no.
Genevera.
Hells yeah.
Oh well, I guess a
Gibetta.
4.
I got a
Asher.
Let's see.
17.
12.
Caleb says, what? Wait, what? He's Fey?
Okay. No. Here's what we said. We said his death was fake. Deception.
Yeah, roll a deception check.
Hell yeah, 19 plus 0.
He says, death
What is
was fake. That's what, are you,
His death was
and
fake.
Carter says, that's not what he said.
Like he's alive.
Yeah, he's not dead.
And so, okay, Caleb says, so he's alive.
Right, but we don't know where. That's true.
That is
I don't have to roll a
That is
deception check.
true. That is 100% true. That is factual.
I'm not rolling. Fuck all. We knew what I didn't say we knew where he was. Because that's also true. And I wouldn't have to say shit.
I love how defensive he gets about having to roll.
Asher is competent, baby.
So he says, well, then we just need to find Elatrix. He can help us solve this puzzle. He can help us put this together. We can come up with a new
he's like-
plan.
it's not. It's just not gonna.
It's
be
not that easy.
No?
No, he's mad
Well,
at us.
I think he can put aside a
among-
petty
among
difference
things.
for the end of the world.
We thought so too.
We tried.
Last
and
time
then
we
things
finally
ha-
found him, I only had to kill my dad to do it, and he still ran away
Asher
and
sweats
would not, help us.
I never liked him. Just to be clear, every time Mirifa was here, I never liked him. I never once liked him. And Heinrich's just like,
I'm right here, man.
stupid name anyway, Mirifa. Okay.
What? But why you? Okay.
He's just mad.
Yeah. Calm down.
He says, okay, so these machines that are harnessing the power of the ley lines and putting it into the earth, he is trying to wake a god?
Yeah,
Yes.
more or less.
Perhaps we...
Not specifically,
Perhaps
Hayrix.
waking Hayrix here would be beneficial, no?
I mean,
No.
Gillick,
It would restart everything.
tell me if I'm wrong, but Hayrix's whole thing is like kill everything and let it all be reborn by Dragonfire, yeah?
Yeah, that's the gist of it. That's what simple people would say, as the giant blue dragon in your other reality told us.
Okay.
Simple people would say that?
Yeah, he told us that basically that's what dumb people would summarize it as.
Come on, I'm right here.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like, that's just
Yeah,
the,
it seems like a
You're
real...
saying you're dumb.
He didn't
It
give
seems
us
like a
the
real
more
low blow.
Look, I'm
complicated-
just
he
saying,
didn't
you're
give
an
us, like, the
idiot.
smart definition, he just... Well, yeah, I thought it was rude when he said it, too. But that's also because he was like a dictator in a sad dragon world.
But Hayrix is the god of the greater races, of the people.
He's a god of rebirth. So if he wakes up, he rebirths everyone.
Well, I don't particularly want to be rebirthed, I suppose.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Well, especially when
is
you
a
think
lot.
about
To
like,
our oh fuck moment.
right, like a dragon rebirth, probably not great.
No. Dragon birth. I'm visualizing it. Sounds like a nightmare.
Well, we have multiple dragonborn in here. I don't know if that's really a conversation you
Yeah,
want to be
that
having.
seems-
I mean birth in general. Let's be real.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fine.
it sounds pretty terrible.
The miracle of life, but fine, whatever.
Nah,
Caleb,
it's
do you have any
terrible.
kids?
Caleb just looks sad.
Oh, dude. I just look at Jennifer. Dude.
Deep dive into
Sorry.
character history.
I was just trying to
Come on.
be friendly.
I just want to...
You yelled
I'm
wait.
sorry that we... Yeah, no. I'm sorry that we overstepped there, Caleb.
No, it's
Yeah.
fine. Yes, I suppose I do. Have children. But that's not important now.
Oh, it
But-
probably is.
Yeah, the way you stop there makes it feel like that's important.
I've never
Also, I thought it was you were gonna say you don't, and then you did. That's what
I never met them. I was not allowed to. This is far deeper than what I was interested in discussing here. I would rather we sort of
sorry.
move on.
Let's get beers sometime
That
and talk.
sounds
Sure,
difficult.
perhaps.
Yeah, gosh, I've been separated from the people that I know and care about for a long time. So I know a little bit of that, but like nothing at that level. Jeez, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
I'm really sorry.
The people I called family are all working for the person I'm trying to stop, and I only have a faint memory of a sister from an alternate reality kind of thing.
Yeah, this all sounds very complicated. Let's get back to the
trying to-
manageable tasks at hand.
Like, clearly this is something that makes you a little bit uncomfortable, but, like, can I just ask, like, what your kids' names were?
My children's names, I would tell them to you if I knew them.
Okay.
This is very, very painful and irrelevant.
I'm really sorry. I like.
That's the story of our career. I'm sorry.
We meet a lot of
I was
people.
just trying
Sorry.
to, like, see if, like, maybe, like, one of us had met them and knew that they were doing fine.
Or
I appreciate
Yep,
that,
that's,
but
yep.
it's not. It's complex and mostly my fault, and I don't like to
Who-
relive it.
Who was she?
Hey.
Like, who was their mom?
She was a very nice woman from here in Bradmont. Isabel was beautiful,
That's a really pretty name.
but there were important things that needed to be done, and I devoted my time to those instead. As we will do now.
Okay, we'll do that now.
So,
Also, like, roughly how old would they be?
Wait. What were their hair colors?
he says,
Yeah.
so the ley lines that you have been destroying, Everything that I researched says
Closing.
that without these connections to magic, our planet will die.
Where's
So-
your research coming from?
Yeah.
Also, can you define die? Because, like,
Sure. With many parts of our world are connected through these magics that we are able to, as casters and wielders of the arcane, manipulate, right? We are capable of harnessing and manipulating their power, but they are not there for that purpose. They are there to bind us, to connect us to everything. And if they are gone from this world, there will be nothing to connect us. We will be empty and lifeless.
What if I told you they're not gone completely? We didn't destroy the ley lines, we closed them. And we have parts of them with us.
For the purposes of keeping a world supplied with magic, it seems there would be little difference. No?
What do you mean? Like
Closing or
and I just, like, take
destroying seems to... There is no magic flowing through in either way. It seems a matter of terminology to make yourself feel better, and that's not really what I'm interested in.
I mean, closing, I feel, implies reopening is a possibility.
Do you know how to do that?
When the problem is solved. We don't.
So, it's as good as destroyed for now.
well,
These
with an attitude like that, jeez.
Yeah, right? Thanks.
Thank
you,
you,
Geppetto.
pieces
Thank
that you have.
Yeah.
What are they?
I take the pendant of necromancy and I put it on. Well, I'd stand up, just so we're clear if I'm sitting or standing. And then I put it on the
Well,
table.
thank you for clarifying. You place the pendant of necromancy on the table. You stand dramatically and place the pendant of necromancy.
Kia!
Ta-da!
Geppetto points again.
My name is Asha!
Objection!
Objection! I'm not casting message, I'm just pointing.
You place the pendant of necromancy on the table. He sort of closes his eyes, and he says, Oh, yes, there is a lot of power coming off of that. And I see that it is not alone here. You carry with you several pieces of this power.
Gillick raises his shield. It's kind of like, yeah.
Wom.
Yeah, and so, like, if you need to do magic from those, these different things, this is where that comes from now that we're here.
I imagine that this is a finite source.
Elatrix made it seem like it was pretty, what's not inexhaustible, but
Big.
pretty significant.
Well, I'm not sure if I'm still willing necessarily to trust Elatrix on this, but if what you say is true about the pact weapons and whatnot, then I see we have less choice than I had hoped.
Yeah, like, my whole thing was just to blow
Alright.
these things up originally, and, it seemed less acceptable to everyone else.
Yeah, but I just want to throw in there though that if you know where these packed weapons are, we still want to get them because we don't want Gorm to get them. So if that's
all we
something
need
that
is to
you're
have
working
one.
on, then definitely keep working on that. Just don't do anything with it.
It is what I have been putting a lot of my focus into. I've been attempting to acquire the dagger.
Oh yeah, that's
I
in
feel
a
like if
graveyard somewhere.
Right.
Yeah, how's that going?
Acquiring the dagger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poorly.
Geppetto looks
We
at the
can-
B team.
They look at the floor. We have sent out several missions for to try and acquire the item where I believe it is resting, and so far we have come up empty-handed. It is not that we have been unable to acquire what was there, it's just that it is never actually the item we are looking for. Genuvera, yes?
So in like the alternate reality, we got it. So like, if like
Yeah, like we don't want to brag,
If
but
you-
like
yeah, but we.
But
yeah.
here we go.
Where?
In a graveyard,
Yeah, I forgot.
Great, thank you. Helpful.
down a tomb.
In a graveyard. I'll
Well,
just find
I mean,
one
it
of the
should-
graveyards here in New Merida, and
Well,
That
no,
should narrow off some
like,
choices
we have
for you.
Some more information than that. Just like off the top
yeah,
of my head.
we used a bunch of different magic. We told some secrets. We spilled some blood. We used some healing magic.
there was a tree.
and
What?
there were trees outside. It's true.
There were. Yep.
okay,
And
so
then
graveyard
inside-
near some trees. Closer, I suppose.
Oh,
No, just one tree.
And then
Genevera looks at everyone and is like, I remember vaguely. I remember where it is. Should I tell them?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
They only.
what do you think, Heinrich? Should we help them?
Heinrich's like,
Or just, like, going past it?
yes.
Well,
Your
only
call,
asking
big
'cause
dog.
You were in this alternate reality too.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
You were equally useless, but that's fine.
Oi.
Boom. Got him.
Ooh, shots
He
fired.
says, he just sort of scowls, and he says, you know what, Caliph? I think you should listen to them. I think they have some real good information for you, and I think you should probably listen to what they have to say for once.
Thank you, Heinrich.
You're welcome.
All right, we got a yes man. All right, great.
And he
Hell
used
yeah.
voice
Hype
one.
man.
That's right.
He did.
Authority voice.
So
Not voice.
It's all relative,
for
you know.
everyone
I
to
have
tell them where
to.
the dagger
It's
is?
relative to whoever else is in the room. You know what I mean?
I understand. I just like when we get to be the ones that he's deferential to. That's what I'm saying. I like when we get to be voice one. And he has to be voice two.
Char voice one.
what do you think, Gillick? Tell him.
Gillick bleeds all over the floor.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm sleepy.
All right.
I like the pain. Why's my head like?
Does anything bad happen if we don't tell him? Does anything bad happen if we
Well,
do?
Gorm could
I
get
mean,
it.
we don't know. Yeah.
Okay,
They
so,
only need
Or
one
so
of
what you're
them.
saying
like
is
secretly really evil. No, if we
Okay.
don't tell them.
Oh
then
yeah,
Gorm
what's
can
it
get
smell like in this
We
room?
can
you
literally.
Gillick?
We can literally determine if he's secretly evil instantly.
Yes. Can I open my divine senses
Sure.
and smell any evil? Do I smell any evil or
What
any
does he
Heinrich
smell like?
is
Pickles or
No.
Is it?
No.
Oh, I was like, holy shit! What a twist!
This whole time we've been turning to Heinrich like, help us out, dude. And he's like, oh yeah, jeez, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know what to do,
You've
guys.
caught my demon form. Voice 4, motherfuckers. Yeah. So he no. Everyone.
He smells
everyone
good.
Everyone sounds very harmonious in this room.
Everyone smells real
Oh,
good.
okay.
It
I like when that happens.
And that one evil key that we still have
smells like shit.
real stinky, real stinky key.
All right. So
I really want that to be an actual magic item
Evil key.
that we have. The key of evil.
the keyhole.
It opens doors that are suspicious, but only suspicious.
It opens doors you wouldn't want to open.
Right. That's such a good magic item.
Oh god, the lock turned. Run away.
That's, oh no, yeah. This is unlockable. We don't want to go in
You
here,
like put the key in and you're like, didn't open. Find another way in now.
There's cool shit in there.
So, yeah, I guess we can tell him.
okay. So, if you go to Moravia and you go to the main church in Moravia, it is the graveyard behind that, and you go up to the right spot, and you need to use.
So you're telling me it's in a crypt, in a graveyard, behind the High Cathedral in Moravia.
Yeah, the church is closed down.
Seems a little on the nose, doesn't it?
Well, you didn't look there before, right?
I guess you're right. I don't... Fair.
It's always the
Seems
last
a little on
place
those.
you
Seems
look.
pretty
It's
correct.
always
I don't
the
know.
last place
Fucking
you- It's
jeez.
definitely a place I should have checked, I suppose. This is on me to some
Yeah.
capacity.
Yeah, that seems too obvious. Oh, correct. It was the obvious choice. Jesus
The
Christ.
obvious
guys.
choice all along.
Occam's razor, that shit.
So,
Anthony, quick, correct me if I'm wrong. My pendant is divination,
Mm-hmm.
right?
yeah.
Okay. I don't know why I had it in my mind that it was purple, and I just got super
Yeah, it's not purple.
confused. Okay.
No, it's blue.
So fuck that
Okay.
purple.
Great.
blue.
So you're gonna need divination magic to open.
You know,
it.
maybe in the right light, it'll be purple, you know?
Yeah, like a purple light.
Sure. But yeah, that's where it is.
Red. Red light.
Okay. He says,
Green right.
oh, I'll go. Jeez. He says, so I apologize for taking you away from the ley line of Evocation, but you're welcome to head back there now.
Will you give us a portal?
Well, that's not really how portals
We were
work.
told you would.
What?
Why
What do
not?
you mean?
They brought.
You
they
did.
brought
That's what you did.
Us from one place to another place. So can't you just bring us from one place to another place?
Yeah, they said you would do that.
Carter said, yeah, I did say that. I just needed to tell you something to get you to come. We can't port there. We can just port back.
Can you explain like portal magic to me? Because
Yeah, we'll wait.
that's really confusing.
Wait,
Caleb,
And also, if you have any like pro tips, like if you can like teach me real quick how to make a portal, I'd appreciate that too. Because then maybe I can just do it and we can go. Because we were there and we get to go back
Yeah.
there. So like by your like definition, the
Yeah, do you
portal
have
should
any
work.
fucking idea how hard it was to climb through all that poop water?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
I had to
did.
wait
we
tables
also killed some people.
and- That was real hard.
God, and it was a nightmare. Like,
Yeah.
guys, I would have fired him.
Guys, I'm not
Like,
good
I
at
love
it.
Keth to death. I would have fired him.
Not great.
Kaelith says, okay, I am not a master of conjuration. I am a master of enchantment. Perhaps if I were a master of conjuration, there is something I could do for you in this instance. What I am capable of doing is creating a portal anchor, which is what I have here in this room. And
Set sail.
I was able to create a stone that carried with it an enchantment to open the portal that was set to this anchor. And that is what you traveled through.
Okay.
It is not possible for me to create an anchor remotely.
So,
However,
all right, go on.
I may be able to help you find your way to the summit the same way that I helped them arrive at the summit.
Oh, yeah, if they could do it,
Oh
then
yeah,
we'll
I forgot.
definitely
Yeah,
be
like
able
you
to do
guys
it.
climbed a mountain. You don't look nearly
just-
as
You
experienced.
could probably do it in like half the time.
And Carter's like, we're probably
Yeah,
just
we just
as
assumed you
experienced.
portaled them there.
Okay.
All right.
We've seen some shit. Okay,
Where's
we've
the
seen.
dagger?
Well, we're
Where's
gonna
the
get the
dagger?
dagger. Where's the
I
dagger?
don't know where
Where's
the
the
dagger
dagger?
is.
Huh? Where's the dagger?
We told them. We told you where the dagger was.
Yeah, you don't have the physical
No,
dagger.
We know
you
where
just
it
go get
is.
And Caleb
Oh, like,
puts his hands
just
up.
in case, like. Okay. I was gonna tell you how to get it, but that's fine.
We'll
you don't have-
we'll
if you don't want our
coordinate
help,
on
that's
that,
fine.
and we will send Omen to gather the dagger, and hopefully they
Omen?
will collect it.
Is that your name?
Oh, man.
Oh man.
What a name, you guys.
What I can provide for you are a number of potions that will allow you to pass into the ethereal realm. While in the ethereal realm, you can make your way to the summit through the observatory undetected. And then once you arrive at the summit, once the potion wears off, you will pass back into the mortal realm, and you will be free to go where you need to go.
I wonder how this is going to interact with necromancy. And I look at the pendant.
I don't know, but it should be fine. The ethereal realm is sort of the space between our realm and the astral plane beyond. It is sort of the bubble that protects us from that beyond leaking in.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
What do you
Not, we don't live on a flat world. Stop it.
No. We don't live on a flat world. I would not say that.
It's a Taurus.
It's a Ford Taurus.
It's a Ford Taurus. This episode is
Just
brought to you by
drives in circles, day in and day out.
On one plane, that is. Flat. It's a flat plane.
No, it is.
The camera
But
zooms out
the
first,
Taurus is not a plane, it's a car.
and the Taurus is traveling along a highway.
There's two roads
highway
that
is
run side
light.
by side.
Metaphorical roads that you take. Someone takes a hard left, and someone else takes a hard right.
Just imagine.
No, he
Time
says,
is
but
a flat Taurus.
our plane of
That's been
existence
smushed.
is not the same as the other planes, like the planes of magic or the plane that the Fae belong to. The connection point between those planes, that veil, is the ethereal plane. If you were to pass beyond that, you would enter the astral plane, and from there you could make connections to the other planes.
And we're
From
kind of
my
in a
understanding.
Are you just
layover
gonna
in
send us
between
through
the
the
planes.
ethereal plane to the volcano?
Yes, so you pass into the ethereal plane. It is, the features of the world are similar, but you do not have interactions with
Oh,
the
Gillick,
beings.
is that where you go? When you do your secret fight?
So, I think it is, but it's a type of pocket within the plane. I'm not really sure myself, but I think it's along the same idea.
Would you cast that spell on me?
Certainly.
But no, wait, doesn't it end when someone dies?
No, I can turn it off whenever I want.
Oh,
Is
okay,
that
that's
true?
good.
Yeah, you can. It's a concentration spell. He can stop concentrating on it.
He looked real
That'd be funny if it
mischievous
was-
when he
Oh,
when he
yeah, I
said
can do
I
that.
think it
whatever
ends
I
when
want.
someone else hurts him too, or something like that. So we could just punch him.
Well, no,
Yeah,
the
if I
spell
pass
no
out,
longer allows
spell
that
ends.
to happen
Oh.
because you pass into the
Oh, 'cause he's
ethereal plane.
unpunchable.
Okay, so you
Get
cast
the
the spell.
unpunchable.
And you and Kaelith sort of phase out of the material plane into sort of this gray world. And Kaelith looks around. He says, "Oh yes, this
Oh, yeah.
is the ethereal plane.
Oh, yes.
Ethereal plane.
Voiced 5.
Yes, this is the ethereal plane, most certainly."
Cool. Okay, so but looking around, does it look like there's like a finite radius, or can we just kind of move around?
You look like you could move around, but you're not really sure the limits of the magic.
Okay. So I've never actually walked around in here before and just kind of done anything. Usually I just try to kill whatever's in front of me, but I've never really checked this place out before.
He says, "It is an unstable version of the ethereal plane. I feel like perhaps you are close to the edge of the plane. You are not as deep in as like a spell might take you. That is, its purpose is to put you in the ethereal plane. You are sort of just skirting
so it's
that
in
line.
between, the space in between.
It is more of a gradient. It is gradual transition to because the ethereal plane itself is but a barrier. You are passing slowly from one end to the other.
Whoa.
The ethereal plane is sort of a mix between the material plane and the astral plane, and that's what creates this ethereal barrier. We are more on the
Oh, so wait, the ethereal plane is a barrier between the material plane and the celestial plane?
not the celestial plane, but the astral plane.
Oh, okay. Astral plane. Okay, cool.
So
I wonder if every plane has a boundary plane.
I believe,
Oh, boy.
in my understanding, I believe every plane has an ethereal plane that protects it from the
Interesting.
astral plane.
Fire ghosts.
But you are close to the material part of the ethereal plane. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Look like a
Yeah.
rainbow?
Kind of,
So
yeah.
it's not.
But
So I'm not 50%. I'm more like 40 or 30%.
perhaps less.
Oh,
That is
okay.
why this feels so unstable to me.
Okay.
I was thinking of it
Interesting.
like the what's the pudding the pudding model of atoms?
The plum pudding model.
Yes.
Plum pudding.
Yeah.
That's how I was picturing the ethereal plane.
It's sort of like boba tea,
right.
The boba tea theory of atoms.
where you just
The no-
have
novel theory.
if the liquid is the astral plane, all of the planes are just like floating inside
Right.
the astral plane, and they are
The
bubbled.
plum pudding.
They are bubbled
Right.
by the ethereal plane.
Right.
I don't know the plum
Oh,
pudding
weird. So
model.
are there
I don't know the
ethereal
plum pudding
bridges?
model, so that's not helpful. Sorry.
Oh, well, go back to the 1800s.
It's kind of like that,
and
but the
learn
plums have an
chemistry.
ethereal sauce around them within the pudding, right? I think that's what Mike was getting
Right.
at.
Okay.
Ethereal
Don't know.
sauce.
And then, yeah.
Classic.
Can I get
classic
Can I get
ethereal
some
sauce.
ethereal sauce on my hammy slammer?
$1 million
yes,
idea,
can we get
baby.
Can we get the trademark for ethereal sauce, please? We'll figure that one out later.
It's better than boom sauce. Hi, I'm Guy Fieri, and sorry.
No,
It's Goof's delicious.
no.
Welcome to Dragons, Diners, and Dives.
No.
That's not really my joke, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
it's fine.
I hate him.
I haven't heard it before. So.
Gillick, can we
New
go
to
back
me.
to the material plane?
Of course, and I end the spell.
Ooh, thank
And
you.
it doesn't end because Gillick has to kill you now.
No, I don't want to.
He rolls up his
I don't wanna kill
sleeves.
anybody.
Gillick can try.
Oh shit!
No, I
First one,
don't want to
baby.
even do that. I don't want to try. I don't want to try to kill.
No, it's
anybody.
fine. The spell ends, and you guys reappear in the office in the material plane. Now, the difference is that when Gillick casts that spell, there is still sort of like an ethereal shadow of him in the material plane. That has always been the case. There's sort of been like a
Right.
Sorry, say his name again.
you, Gillick.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were saying the other guy had an ethereal
Both
shadow.
of you have sort of an ethereal shadow when you
Okay.
cast the spell. That's always sort of been the case. You don't go so deep into the ethereal plane, so there's sort of like an ethereal shadow of you still left.
Cool.
Okay, that's I only say that's always been the case to point out that that's not different. That's not a change.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think we've discussed that before.
So he digs into a drawer beside him and he pulls out 5 potions. And he says, here are, I call them Spirit Walker potions, but they take you to the ethereal plane and allow you to pass through on that plane. These are very powerful, very expensive. So I just want you to know that it is at a great cost to the taxpayer of Bradmont when I hand these to you.
Yeah, but this was your fault. So.
I understand. I understand. I am giving them to you. I just want you to know that, some people will starve for them, but that's fine.
I feel like you should probably, compensate those starving people.
I don't. I mean, it was that was some dark humor. I apologize.
No, I bet that's actually what's happening.
Bradmont's pretty well taken care of, especially now that we have
except
separated
that guy
from
who
the
got
kingdom.
Arrested.
Well,
Except that guy that got
Yeah.
arrested for stealing food
Just for
his
stealing
family.
a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
well, he was
One loaf of bread.
He was confused. He was scared and confused.
But no,
But that won't be a problem anymore. He'll be well taken care of.
okay. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Everyone's gonna be.
Everyone
fine.
will be fine.
That's the one thing that
Definitely
I've learned
racist.
about isolationism
Ugh,
is it always
rich
makes
people.
people better. No one ever suffers for it. This will be great.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
Bradmont is going to be in a
Great.
much better place now.
Cool. That's what we say about dead people. That's great.
That was me. That was me once.
Actually, you know what's really cool, Caleb? You know how so like you like magic and stuff, right?
Yes.
You know what happens when you die?
Asher pulls out his hands and he puts out his hands like just I don't know.
Like you're warming them on a
posing.
fire? Like what?
No. He's just like putting them out like outward, out from his body.
All of
This
us
whole time
just
he's
put our
like,
hands.
oh shit!
I'm not piecing together what.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Like he just puts he holds his hands out as if to be like ta-da.
So what happens when you die? You Asher. You become me.
Oh God.
It's me.
He says, of course I don't know
no,
what
so-
happens when you die. What a silly question.
I do. You become magic.
Well, that's an awful lot of
How cool is
conjecture, if you ask me. Prove it.
Okay.
Hello.
The Lord of Death told us.
I don't know who
Yeah.
that is.
So
He's the Lord
he's
of Death. Is
literally,
what you
yeah,
think he is.
he's literally the guy that runs the underworld. Basically,
Yeah, he'll
remember
he'll eat your
when
soul.
we went to the plane of necromancy and you guys were all like, "Oh, I can't believe they stopped their own way to die," or whatever you thought we were doing. But that's not what we did.
Yeah.
We were saving Asher.
Hello. That's why I put my hands out.
well,
Like out from my body, which is very clear in a visual
that
medium.
makes more sense, I suppose, as to why you thrust your hands forward. I was a little confused, but this makes more sense. I'll take it.
Yeah, so like he eats your soul and then he makes you magic. I just thought that was a really
Yeah,
fun
basically,
fact, so-
he spreads magic out to the rest of the ley lines from the souls of the dead.
Yep.
So, like, as people die, he consumes
You
them,
get recycled.
creates magic from their souls, and then sends the souls to his to its siblings.
Its siblings, yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
like it didn't gender itself, so I shouldn't assume.
Yeah, I apologize.
And also,
I don't
the necromancy pendant is the only like linking point to that right now. So I just walk around and apparently just collect souls and send them to the plane of necromancy where he continues to create magic.
Do you...
I just thought you'd like really think that was cool.
I
thought
do.
you'd
It's
think it was
fascinating.
cool.
Do you mind if I take a look at that pendant again?
Sure.
Don't
And I
break
hold
it.
out. I put out my hands with necromancy. Jesus.
He reignites your hands.
No!
He takes the,
I just put these out.
he takes the pendant. He says, you have divination as well, yes?
Oh yeah,
Me?
I do.
Oh.
Not he doesn't.
Could
I
I
do not.
could I borrow that as well?
I'm gonna like hold. I'm gonna dangle it.
Yeah, what is this for?
You can look at it, but I'm gonna like hold tight to the.
He
corner.
reaches a hand out and wraps a hand around the necklace. And then he places
Oh, sure,
another
I see what's
hand
going on.
the pendant. And he closes his eyes. He sort of like his brow furrows. And you see like beads of sweat starting to form on his brow. And then he's... That's a mind flayer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's a cool mind flayer though.
It's a
It's
whole
cool with us.
thing. It's I would say neutral. A neutral thing.
It's just what
Yeah,
happens.
Okay.
It was a lot
You've
to take
faced-
in. This is not new
you
info
have
to us,
faced the
so it's
mind
new to
flayers,
you, so
though.
I get it.
What?
You have faced them? They are aware of you?
Yeah, they are really
yeah.
mad at us, actually,
Well,
except the death
Some
one.
of them, yeah.
The death one's cool with us, but everyone else is
Yeah,
real
two of them are
unhappy.
dead. So.
Well, that does not
Oh, yeah.
surprise me.
Oh yeah.
Well, I will not be able to do anything for you in Evocation, but perhaps that's something else we will have to look into. If this must be done to save the material plane, the mind flayers will not care. They do not care
They sure
for
don't.
material plane at all.
Hey,
So
Caliph, I just want to know, are you on our side now?
I am on the side of Numerida, and I believe you when you tell me that what you are doing is our best plan right now. I will continue to work on a better plan because I do not believe it is a good one.
God, that would be great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'd be down.
I mean, effectively, the thing that's wrong with our plan is we don't know how to reopen the ley lines. And you said they're effectively destroyed. Maybe the best route would be to figure out how to reopen them. Because I don't think it's impossible, and that's just my gut, but if that's the one flaw of our plan, then maybe that's the thing we have to fix. Because we don't have any other options.
Perhaps.
I have a quick question. I asked it earlier, but we didn't really. I don't think you really answered it.
I told you, my
where is
children,
your
I never
research
met them. Sorry.
No, we didn't.
That was a
I
joke.
wanna-
It's fine. I said, I told you, I never met my children.
Your sense of humor is real weird, dude. You have the weirdest sense of humor.
No, I just missed the first.
know.
I missed the first part of it, so I missed the joke. Sorry.
He says, where is my research from? Basically, what I've been able to acquire from the histories and from the tomes of magic that I've been able to find. You are not the first to travel to the ley lines. You are not the first to peer into the ley lines. You are not... I have spent many years cultivating a network through the Notatia Collective of...
Oh. Do you know our friend Aldenon?
Yes.
No.
No, I know Adnan vaguely. I've not met him more than a handful of times, but the Notatia Collective has a vast collection of resources, and they have been very helpful in acquiring a lot of information, including about Gorm.
Sure. So I just wanted to clarify that this wasn't some like angelic being or some like divine like intervention that told you that if we succeed at this that the world will just like blow up. It's just pieced together from what you know about how the ley lines connect to each other and are part of the fabric of numerous.
And how magic reacts to life, how it holds life together.
I just wanted to make sure it was like, it's just a theory. It's not like something that you.
Well,
right, because we met an angel of Caliesto who didn't tell us that the world would end when we were doing this stuff. So like,
Yeah, we don't mean to brag.
Yes.
But here we go.
And then Gebetto looks over at the B team.
Nix is fuming.
Oh man, the B team, fucking so good.
I love the idea that her face is like bright red, and it just like goes into her beard and her hair.
He says, yes, from my understanding, the Celestials do not really care much for what happens on the material plane.
I got that feeling too, and I think that's really weird, because, like, if we didn't exist, right, who would worship them is my number one question. And if someone doesn't worship, like, if someone doesn't believe a god exists, does it really exist at all, is thought number two.
Bear in mind that the angels are not the gods. The angels are creatures that were created by the gods.
Oh, hey, I have a question.
They can exist,
Ooh, that's interesting.
in my understanding, independently of the gods.
Yeah, so if there's like, let's say like an angel, just for example, and they were like, do they have to, like, could they be evil? Or because they're an angel, do they have to like act in like the best interest of their god? Or like, what's the deal with angels?
I am not a theologian.
That would imply that they were. Oh.
No, go ahead. Gillick, perhaps you would have more insight in this than even I would.
That would imply that the angels' deity, their respective deity, would grant those angels free will.
It is not free will, because they are bound by the pact. But there is a degree of autonomy that the angels have, in my understanding. Again, I'm not a theologian. I have never met an angel. But it is my understanding that...
It never gets easier.
I believe that. It is my understanding that the angels have a degree of autonomy from their deity, as the power source of the gods is different than that of the angels. The angels would be more like a cleric.
But they're still bound by the pact, which means they can't directly interfere, which means they can't hurt us.
To my understanding,
Oh
they
wait,
have a
we
degree
got
of
beat
autonomy.
on by an angel. So
Yeah, we got real whooped by an angel of Iora, but I mean, we did end up taking it down. Rector.
Yeah, but there goes that theory.
But that was part of. I feel like that was also part of the pact, right? Because that was sort of like prove yourself.
Yeah, we wrecked a real good
Right?
popcorn cart.
Hey. Oh, that one, different one.
Yeah.
So perhaps the angels, I think the angels must in some capacity be bound by the pact, otherwise they could help with Gorm, but they must also have a level of they must not be affected by the pact in the same way that the gods are.
Or here's my other question: are the gods? If a god changes, is it still bound by the pact? I know that's a real
Changes
vague.
into what?
From my research in the pact, all of the Celestials, whether they were part of the group that formed the pact or not, are bound by the pact. So even if one were to change, in theory, they would still be bound by the pact.
But the pact would say, this god of whatever, and if they changed into another god of whatever, the lineage has changed, but if it was a written document, it wouldn't be, that god
Sure, it is
anymore.
not a written document, though. It is a magical agreement. And all Celestials were bound by the pact, whether they were alive then even or not. Right? They have been all bound to the pact.
Wait, so a celestial can not exist, and then once it exists, it's automatically bound by the pact?
That is the nature of the pact, to my understanding.
It's a weird pact.
Very much so. A very, very powerful
You exist,
pact.
you're bound to it. Good luck.
I believe it is because those creatures created the pact of their own free will. That they gave up of themselves. That the pact is as powerful as it is.
Wait, the Celestials gave up their free will to have a pact so that other Celestials couldn't come in and mess with the pact?
Correct.
Shit.
well,
Yeah, I'm not sure I follow.
Well, think on it, and we'll have another discussion about it another time.
Okay.
For now, you should
Perfect.
probably hit the road.
Yeah, that's a
should
good
we
idea.
just
I'm
drink
gonna
these and
ponder
we can
this.
float back to the volcano?
We will still...
No,
Well,
we
when
gotta
we get
get there
closer.
first, and then we drink them, and then we
Yeah.
walk through the
kitchens
again? through the kitchen and stuff, and then
Well, I
but
mean, if
nobody
you're,
can see
But
them.
this
if you're
will be
going
easier.
through as an ethereal, you don't even need to use the tunnels that you have used before. You could just walk through the front door.
Yeah, you said we could get to the summit. Oh, right, okay.
Unless there's some sort of wizard like keeping an eye out.
Yes, if there were others traveling through the ethereal plane, it could prove problematic.
Question.
Yes?
Well, I guess we'll find out. When people, you wouldn't know the answer.
Okay.
I was gonna ask about when people die, and if I'm ethereal, am I gonna see all the people being absorbed into the necromancy pendant? I just have a lot to process.
The
is
ethereal
all.
plane has very, very little to do with spirits.
Okay.
That's not really its purview. It is a bubble that protects reality.
Okay.
But I would, if you do run into someone in the ethereal plane, that could prove problematic. But the likelihood of someone just spending time in the ethereal plane is low. It is dangerous to spend too much time in the ethereal plane.
I don't like this foreshadowing.
I have heard of a place in Vedris where they keep valuables in the ethereal plane, and it is plagued by wraiths that attack because they've spent too much time in the ethereal plane.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
scary.
It sounds like a cool place that I
I
wish
feel
we
like
had
we should
done.
never go there.
Gebetto is like taking down notes. Valuables, you say?
Yeah, but raids.
Yeah, but valuable.
Oh, yeah.
So if you see an ethereal wraith, run, I guess is my best advice for you. And otherwise, best of luck, many petties.
Okay.
Thanks.
Can we have like a cell stone for you? Can you just leave us with like a little communication
stone.
stone? Can you do that spell? We have that with a lot of other
Leave your
people.
There's a
stone
lot
number.
of stones. Oh, no.
He said, "I can give you a portal stone, I suppose."
That's fine.
We'll take
All
that.
right.
All right. Yeah, he opens his drawer, he pulls out his portal stone, and he hands it to you. And it's a green stone. And he says, if you use it, you will open a gate to here. From wherever you are.
Oh. Also,
Real easy to open gates from A to B when you need it, huh?
But not from B to A.
hey, can we get a car and driver?
Yeah.
That I have less ability to get you. Heinrich says, I'll take care of it.
Great. Geppetto looks at the B team again.
And then you just hear like Carter be like, yeah, we have a car and driver.
We'll take their car and driver. That's fine. They won't be needed.
They clearly don't have a car and driver. He's just saying it.
I just want
you guys
look at the-
them
if
to
you look at the-
know
like, I
that.
point-
I know that.
I look at Keth and then I point at their shoes. Because they're all fucking... They gotta be all fucking worn out. And, like,
Yeah.
Aw, poor Omen.
I lean into Geppetto, and I'm just like, man, if I was on their side, they have such an easy roast for us. They just call us the Manny Petties.
Or the many...
Like, it's so obvious.
Or the, like, Manny panties.
That's less good.
I don't know. I'm not
Leave
great
the
at
jokes
this.
to me.
All right. I'll just keep fucking roasting them. Geppetto puts out a fist.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we're on the same side. It's cool.
And so, for the second time in a month, you guys head to Emberfall. Hey adventurers, DM Anthony here again. I just want to remind you that there are lots of ways to support the show. Head on over to patreon.com/adventureinc. Tell your friends about the show. Rate and review us on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. Links and more can be found at adventureinc.podbean.com. Thanks everyone, we'll see you next week.
Well, let's talk about our families more.
I really feel like that's gonna come back. It's like his
Oh,
kids
definitely.
are definitely like
Oh,
I
they're
really
gonna be
kinda
working
wanna
for
get their
Gorm.
names.
They're gotta
Yeah.
be Gorm.
Yeah. One of them's Gorm. Well, Gorm's a dragon, so I doubt it.
We don't know.
But I don't.
Maybe you're a hyena.
You don't know.
I am. I do know. It's part of my character.
I mean, with the way
I
fucking
really wanna.
this.
I'm gonna ask him his kids' names.
I-
I'm gonna put.
side
I'm
note-
gonna fucking push.
Side note, I think I'm gonna try and get Dune Song tattooed on me.
Dude song?
Like,
Dude,
Dude song.
Please get dude song.
I'm truly gonna get the word Dude Song tattooed on my
Get
forehead.
get the lyrics to Down by 311 tattooed across your chest.
DUDESONG.
That feels like the most
Dude song.
dude song there is.
Wait.
Maybe
Yeah, that would be
click,
perfect.
Click, boom.
Click, click, boom!
That's a pretty good dude song.
Okay.
It's a dude song.
So Caleb, I
He
really like.
fucking
it clear-
hates me. Sorry.